Hello, this is Johanna from Lucifer and you're watching Tell Us Rock.
Lucifer, the heavy metal band formed in Berlin 2014 by Johanna Sadonis. Yeah, we went up to Stockholm to meet her and talk about the new record Lucifer 5, 2024, touring, and a little bit about the past as well. Join us for this. So, a warm welcome to Johanna from the band Lucifer.
Thank you very much.
It's an honor to meet you. And a huge congratulations to the new album.
Thank you so much.
As a radio host, you get the advantage of hearing it before everybody else, and I can tell all the fans that they kind of love it. That's for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. I keep talking.
Yeah. Well, the song "Immaculate Heart," when I heard it first, I was really thrilled about it. So the rest of the album is also amazing. And it will be released on the 26th of January.
Yes, that's correct.
On UK Blast.
Yes.
And that's new, right?
That's new, yes. We've been previously signed for the past 3 albums with Century Media.
Yeah.
And this is our first album, with Nuclear Blast.
Any big differences?
Wow, well, time will tell how they do on this new album.
So, we're going to talk a little bit more about the new record, of course, and about the touring, but take us back to 2015, when you started the band Lucifer?
14, actually.
14?
Yes. The first album came out 2015.
Yeah.
But I started Lucifer a couple of months after my previous band, The Oath, had broken up.
Yeah.
We had broken up before the first album came out. So I was absolutely not finished to give up.
Okay.
and needed to immediately do something, and there was Lucifer, and assembled a band, and a year later we had Lucifer 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now it's Lucifer 5.
Right.
Great.
10 years, 5 albums.
10 years, 5 albums. Okay. Yeah, that's great. And a new album comes out. Will there be a tour?
Yes, we are actually embarking on a European tour next month. Okay. We have just done a North American tour, Canada and the USA, this past November for a whole month, together with Coven. And now we're going to go with Angel Witch and do a month of Europe. But this is only going to be the first leg. We're going to have another leg because we have to cover a lot of Europe that we haven't toured really since before the pandemic.
Okay.
And we recorded 2 albums during the pandemic, so we actually have to support 3 records now.
Okay, so it's going to be a long set then.
Yeah, the problem is my singing is pretty elaborate, and since we don't have many days off, I kind of don't want to do more than an hour 15 or an hour 20 because I'm really belting my heart out, and I want this to last throughout until the last show in Stockholm.
It could be nice if we still have any voice left.
Exactly, yeah.
So, the process of making music, I mean, you started the band, you're the vocalist, everything, but what's the creative process when you write the music?
Well, now we are very practiced together because Nicke and I have worked now on the 4th album together, and the process is kind of always the same with some exceptions. So most of the material we talk about, okay, let's have one song that's like a hard rocker, like a proper, like, I don't know, new wave of British heavy metal inspired.
Yeah.
Old school heavy metal song or something. And then Nicke sits down with the guitar and writes some riffs, and then one thing comes to another, and he gives me a demo. And I sit down separately and put this thing into just simple garage band. And then I sit down and compose. I call it that because when I do vocals, I treat this like an instrument. I really try to compose it in a way that I put a lot of meaning into the melody of something, and then afterwards I write the lyrics to it, and make them fit to the rhythm and the length of whatever amount of words I need. Yeah. So it's a very maybe a weird way to go about it, but I construct it like this because I think it's important that songs are catchy.
Yeah.
and and it can't just be blah blah. It's like it for me. It is like an instrument, the voice.
Yeah.
So this is how we usually do it. We've done it other ways. I have given Nicke a vocal melody that I recorded into my phone, the lyrics and vocals, and he wrote the music around it.
Okay.
Which is backwards somehow. We've even have it, but that is a total exception that I sat down with a keyboard and I wrote a song and sang over it and then said to Nicke, this keyboard is going to be the guitar. Can you do that, please? Because I really suck at guitar. And now we have, now we can enter Linus Björklund, our guitar player, who has contributed 2 songs to the new album, Strange Sister and Riding Reaper. And that started with the last album, Lucifer 4, that he started working, writing with me. Because we asked him, you know, so Linus, you know, do you want to send something over? Yeah. And he did. And it was like, wow, holy shit. He never told us, but he's a great songwriter. And he never I don't think he would have stepped forward if we wouldn't have asked him.
Yeah.
Because maybe he just assumed that it's Nicke and I who always do everything, you know. So I'm glad I drew this out of him. And now we have the second album where he wrote these 2 more amazing songs together with me. Yeah. So it's great. Now I have 2 writing partners in the band.
Perfect.
Yes.
And you start working on Lucifer 6 then.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I don't know, if Nicke says, okay, I have enough, you know, fuck you, Lucifer, then I could say Linus. Help me.
Yeah. What do you get your inspiration from? You mentioned new wave of British heavy metal, but I mean, both when it comes to lyrics and as you say, you use your vocal as an instrument, of course, which it is. It's an amazing instrument, but the inspiration when you come up with the melodies or with the lyrics.
Yeah, I mean the melodies. I guess you know we are all children of the stuff that we consume somehow. Maybe music, books, films, all kinds of. I'm a very visual person, so in my lyrics, a lot of stuff that I just soaked up with my eyes somehow come out. Musically, I think it's Lucifer has so many different influences. You know, there's a lot of course, the obvious 70s heavy rock stuff, but then you know there's of course the heavy metal, the doom. But there's soul and there's other genres that we listen to. Yeah. Or it could be southern rock or whatever. It's all these things that flow into you, and then you barf it out, and it becomes a Lucifer album.
You just barf it out. Yeah. Well, it sounds.
Well, you put a little bit more thought into it. But of essentially.
Well, what kind of music do you listen to yourself when you, I mean, out for a walk or when it's a party or whatever?
So if I'm alone and nobody's in the house, it's a very broad mix of stuff. But most of it is old. Old as in probably no later than 90s stuff is almost like an exception. So I love old hard rock. I grew up with classical music. My brother was a punk. I love Ramones. I love Blondie, all that stuff. I also love Roxy Music and the Velvet Underground from my mom. I'm a huge Stones fan. That's kind of my mother's milk. So that's a classic go-to. I love Fleetwood Mac, and that's all eras. You know, with Lindsay and Stevie.
Super nice bands.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love ZZ Top. I really have grown to like southern rock very much. I like outlaw country stuff. There's a few contemporary things that I like. I like Lana Del Rey. Yeah. But she's also basically doing the same as me, you know, collecting all these old things and barfing them out. Yeah. Just a little bit more in a pop context, I guess. But and she also has a very morbid and sinister side to her. Yeah. And she plays with all these with pop culture and Americana and all these different influences. And I feel like Lucifer is doing something similar, but of course in a different music genre. Or I like Black Mountain.
Yeah.
That's but other than a few artists, it's just I always feel like the wheel can't be reinvented. You know, it's like the good stuff has been kind of done in the best way possible. I know I sound like I sound like my own grandmother.
But then again, you said you like Rolling Stones. So what do you think about the new album?
I actually thought it was quite good.
I agree. I totally agree. I was shocked when I heard it.
Me too. I didn't expect that, which is kind of mean, you know. Because
but again,
who am I
they've
to say
been
that?
Playing for like 200 years, pretty much. So
yes, but I think they have. It sounds like they have the right people also advising them on production and how it should sound.
Yeah, you can see also the guest artists with them as well. So I think it's an amazing album. So
yeah, I actually listened to it. Not only one time out of curiosity, I listened to it out of pleasure.
Yeah.
Several times.
Yeah.
Because it's enjoyable. I really think it's cool.
But now we're gonna focus on this one, on this record. You said yourself you use your voice as an instrument. How do you treat your voice? I mean, going on tour for a month.
I used to not treat my voice very good. I used to always think people who warm up, you know, when you're at festivals and sometimes the dressing room, sometimes you don't even have a ceiling, there's just a wall in between the dressing rooms, so you hear what other bands do, and then there would be like, you would hear vocal warm-ups from other bands, and I would always think like, this is so ridiculous, the poor rest of the band that has to endure this, but I realized I can't, because I used to like love, especially in a social context when you are on tour, you know, good glass of wine and like a few cigarettes, that's like perfect.
Man, you're a rock star, what the fuck, of course.
Yeah, you know.
Can't sit and eating broccoli and drinking water.
Exactly, right? But truth is, I had to learn, if I want to last for a whole tour, to treat my voice better. So good thing is I became a little bit more comfortable with playing live, so I don't need the Dutch courage anymore. I actually play a better show if I don't drink, or maybe just half a glass of white wine or whatever. And I quit smoking 4 months ago, and
congratulations.
Thank you. But you know, when we have a release party next week, and I'm totally gonna have a party cigarette.
Of course.
In celebration of
of the album.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you should. One cigarette is okay.
Yeah. So that seems to work. I tried that when we were on our US tour. It's okay to have I actually get sick from it now.
Okay.
So there's no risk in becoming a total cigarette junkie again. Yeah. So I do try to take care, and on stage, instead of wine or a wine bottle, because I always thought, that's cool, you can't have a glass on stage because it might break, so you just put the whole wine bottle there. Now I have a pot with sage tea and honey, because that's like the best for the voice. Singers of the world, sage tea.
Sage tea,
yes.
Okay, perfect. Are you a nostalgic person?
Very much.
Very much? Okay, so let's do some nostalgic talk then. Do you remember the first album you bought for your own money?
Yes. From my own money, the first...
You spent your savings, you went away and you bought the album.
Yes. So Use Your Illusions came out, 1 and 2, and I had enough money to buy 1. So you can sense the drama there, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I was standing at the record shop and I was like, this or this one, and then you look at the track list and it's like, okay, I'm gonna go for 2 because it has Estranged on it, and it had there's one song that which one was it, that they have a different vocal version. No, and it had the alternative lyrics.
Okay.
Now I can't think.
Okay, but you went with the second one.
I went with the second one,
okay.
yes, and it was awesome. And I put it on my new stereo. On top, it was a double album, and I listened to it. I had the one vinyl on, and the other one was in there. And I put this on top of my record player, and I had a little tea light that I put on top. And because teenagers are fucking retarded. Oh no, you're not supposed to say that word. Okay, teenagers are very stupid.
Yes.
And
we cut that out, yeah.
Yes, please, thank you. And so was I. So when I was ready for the second vinyl, I took it out and it had a nice dent from the tea light in it. And I was literally about to bite into the carpet. Like, yeah.
So you had kind of 50% of Use Your Illusion too.
It actually worked, but it was like a little wobbly every time. So there. And my first CD that I bought was Metallica Master of Puppets.
Oh.
And I remember because
that's kind of doing it in the wrong way. You know, you should have been Master of Puppets on vinyl and Use Your Illusion.
I know. But I guess CDs were kind of a new thing then, so it was kind of like cool to buy a CD.
Yeah, of course. I bought the Don Johnson CD. I'm not proud of it, but that was the only one I could afford.
I think I had a Don Johnson crush when I was like 6 or 7 for a second.
Yeah, well, I bought it because I watched Miami Vice, so for me it was like, I can afford this one, let's buy it. Don't buy it. Don't buy it.
And I picked Master of Puppets, and here we're coming full circle again, because I also only had money for one, and it's like, okay, Ride the Lightning, Kill 'Em All, Justice for All. I went for Master of Puppets because it had a cemetery on the cover.
Of course.
And if you know me a little bit, you could have guessed that I would go for that one.
Yeah, definitely. So why the name Lucifer of a band?
Yeah, I know, it's... There's several reasons. So first of all, when I wanted to have a new band after my last band disbanded, and I wrote down a list of different names, and I kept coming back to Lucifer. And I thought, first of all, I wanted a name that's unforgettable, and no matter if it's good or bad, it's one word. You read it once, you will kind of remember it because it's very easy to remember. It's not a very complicated band name. I have a thing for the number 7. It's 7 letters, which lends itself perfectly for graphics, for like merchandise, stage banner, festival posters. One word, people would definitely be able to read this better than as if your name is, I don't know, Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. And Lucifer, I can very much identify with the figure of Lucifer because Lucifer is an outcast and a misfit, and I always felt like an outsider. In school, I was the really frail, shy girl from the GDR, so I was the weirdo. Then later on, when I was a teenager, I was the only metalhead at school. But I was also the weirdo, and then I dyed my hair black. It was like, hey, Morticia, you know, being mocked, you know. And yeah, and then I moved to LA for 3 years, so there I was the weird German. There's always something that makes me the outsider. Now I'm in Sweden, and I'm also the weird German.
Well, we have a lot of Germans in Sweden, so you can.
Yes. But, you know, Germans...
And, you know, we still read German in school in Sweden. So I read German for like 5 years.
Oh, wow. So, yeah. But you can pick, right, between different languages. Like
French, well, at that time you could only choose between pretty much French or German. If we're talking in the, beginning of the 90s. Mm. Now you can choose Spanish or Russian or whatever.
Maybe Russian? Not anymore. But
no, not anymore. Maybe Chinese will be better nowadays or something like that. So, last question, which is a question I ask pretty much everybody. You are stranded on an island alone for 1 year, and you only get to bring one record. So every time you listen to music for 1 year, you're gonna listen to this, and you can't choose the greatest hits or compilation album.
Double album.
Which album would you choose?
It would be a Rolling Stones album, and it would either be Goat's Head Soup or Beggar's Banquet.
I have to choose one. Can't choose two.
Okay, I'm gonna take Beggar's Banquet.
Okay, it's a good choice. I would choose this one. I would choose Lucifer 5.
But I can't say that.
You could.
Also, no. But the thing is, we don't listen to ourselves.
You don't?
No.
Do you sing your own songs in the shower?
No way.
So if you have a party at home and you get really, really wasted, don't you just by accident put on the latest record?
I only know one person that would do that, and his name is the Regen.
Yeah. That could be true.
It is true. I've seen it several times.
Oh, amazing. So Thanks a lot for taking time.
Thank
It's been
you.
a pleasure meeting you. And good luck with the new album on the tour and everything. I know it's going to be a smashing hit.
Thank you. That's super nice. Great
Thank you.
questions. I had
Thank
fun with this one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.